The Panama Canal, Waffles, and the facts of life are all on this day. Hey, welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is August 24th, 2020. It is the 237th day of the year. We got 129 days left. It is the 34th Monday of the year and the 65th day of summer. If today's your birthday, your birthstone is a peridot. Today is National Waffle Day. National Waffle Day celebrates this popular breakfast food. Actually, it's good at any time of the day. Ask my daughter and granddaughter. They eat waffles all the time. This observance commemorates the first waffle iron. Yeah, the first waffle iron. Waffles are typically made with eggs, flour, and sugar. It's typically served as a breakfast dish, but like I said, eat it any time. In 1869, the first waffle iron was invented in the United States. All right, let's see what else August 24th has given us. 1857, the Panic of 1857 begins, setting off one of the most severe economic crises in United States history to that point. Because of the invention of the telegraph, this was the first financial crisis that spread rapidly throughout the United States. This financial slowdown wasn't terrible compared to others we've had since. But the recovery wasn't seen until the onset of the American Civil War in 1861. 1909, workers start pouring concrete for the Panama Canal. The canal cuts through the Isthmus of Panama and is a channel for trade, basically. France began work on the canal in 1881, but stopped because of engineering problems, and they lost a lot of workers. A lot of people were getting killed doing this. That jungle is unforgiving, especially back then. I'm sure malaria just wrecked that place. The United States took over in 1904, and the canal opened in 1914. This was one of the largest and most difficult engineering projects ever undertaken to this point. It greatly reduced the time for shipping from the Atlantic to the Pacific Oceans. I've seen the Panama Canal, actually seen quite a lot of it. I was in Panama while I was in the military, and it is impressive, I'll give you that. I want to take a cruise ship through there next couple of years. Definitely want to see that. 1933, the Crescent Limited train derails in Washington, D.C. after the bridge it was crossing was washed out by the 1933 Chesapeake Potomac hurricane. This is before they actually gave them names. Although traveling only 30 miles an hour, the train was hurled nearly 125 feet from the point where it left the rails. Just 30 passengers were aboard, so obviously there weren't that many casualties, and the only deaths were the two guys up front, the fireman and the engineer. The cost of the disaster is estimated to be around $80,000 to $240,000 for the time. That's like $1.6 million and $4.7 million today, depending on which estimate you go by. Kind of a big number to be spread out there, how much it cost to fix this. It's a long time ago, so who knows. I'm sure the facts are a little murky at this point. 1941, Adolf Hitler orders the halt of Nazi Germany's systematic T4 euthanasia program of the mentally ill and handicapped due to protests. Now, apparently, he decided he was going to fix things by anyone that was handicapped or mentally ill. You could just kill them. Never understand that. You know, when I was younger, I found it interesting as a part of history, the whole Nazi thing and how people got involved. As I get older, I just get saddened every time I read anything about it. It's just... I quit thinking of the process and start thinking of the people as I got older, and it just upsets me whenever I read this. Anyway, physicians in German and Austrian asylums continued this practice for many years until, obviously, Germany was defeated in 1945. 1967, led by Abby Hoffman, the Youth International Party temporarily disrupts trading on the New York Stock Exchange by throwing dollar bills from the viewing gallery, causing trading to cease as brokers scramble to grab the dollar bills. Time must have been tough if you're grabbing dollar bills on the floor of the stock exchange. Accounts of the amount of money that Hoffman and the group tossed are said to be between $30 and $300. Some of the bills were fake. Yeah, that Abby Hoffman, that was a weird dude. 1981, Mark David Chapman is sentenced to 20 years to life in prison for murdering John Lennon. As Lennon walked into his apartment building archway with his wife, Yoko Ono, Chapman fired 5 shots at Lennon from several meters away with a .38 caliber revolver. Lennon was hit 4 times in the back. Chapman remained at the scene reading J.D. Salinger's novel, The Catcher in the Rye, until he was arrested by police. You know, I knew that whole story. I didn't know he sat there and read Catcher in the Rye until I researched this video. That's weird. Now, I'd heard references to him, being obsessed with Catcher in the Rye. I didn't know he sat down after he killed John Lennon and started reading this book. Weird. 1989, Cincinnati Reds manager Pete Rose is banned from baseball for life for gambling. 1992, Hurricane Andrew makes landfall in Homestead, Florida as a Category 5 hurricane, causing up to $25 billion in damages. That's about 46.2 today, I believe. It was the strongest landfalling hurricane in decades and the costliest hurricane to make landfall anywhere in the United States until it was surpassed by Katrina in 2005. Andrew stripped many homes of everything but their concrete foundation. It destroyed more than 63,000 homes, damaged more than 124,000 others, and left 65 people dead. I remember when that one happened. That was brutal. Premiered on August 24th. No real significant movies, but a TV show. 1979, The Facts of Life. This was a great show if you were a preteen, teen, or just a kid. This is a great show during that time. It lasted till 1988, and the list of people who sort of got their start, that this was like one of their first appearances on, or early in their career, is amazing. Seth Green, Juliette Lewis, Helen Hunt, George Clooney, Moon Unit Zappa, Eve Plum, who played Jan Brady, Richard Dean Anderson, Zsa Zsa Gabor, David Spade, Jamie Gertz, and Crispin Glover. If you don't know who he was McFly, McFly, pounding on his head from Back to the Future movies. Yeah. So obviously not all of them got their start on this show, but the list of people that actually appeared on this show is amazing. Born on August 24th, 1960, Cal Ripken Jr., American baseball player and coach. On September 6, 1995, Cal Ripken Jr. passed Lou Gehrig's consecutive games played streak, 2,131 games. He played without missing a day, without being injured, no contract disputes, played every single game for 2,131 games. That's amazing. I remember when this happened, they showed the graphic of it, and they showed his name, when they put up who's at each base, they show a little computer-generated thing of all the bases, the field, and they put every player's name by their position. Well, they showed all the people that had changed positions in his career, and they just showed his name stagnant on the computer screen at third base, and all these names just... It was like they were firing them off. It was amazing. 1973, Dave Chappelle is born. American comedian and actor, producer, screenwriter. He is known for his comedy sketch series, The Chappelle Show. Chappelle has appeared in several films, including Undercover Brother, A Star is Born, and You Got Mail. In 2016, he signed a $20 million deal with Netflix to produce 5 stand-up specials. That's amazing money for 5 stand-up specials. Died on August 24th, 2018, we lost Robin Leach, English entertainer, reporter, and writer. If you don't know who he was, Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous. That was his show, and he did it forever, and that was like everyone's guilty pleasure. It was weird. I watched it all the time. All right, that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now get out there and do something good today. Be nice to each other.